Are you excited to start creating with Premiere? Of course you are. However, before diving into editing, it's crucial to establish some clear guidelines for telling your story effectively. So that's why in this lesson, we are going to explore the ideation phase, which is basically a way to consolidate your ideas, messaging, and goals into a document called Creative Brief. Okay. Imagine that the manager of a pub hires you to create a highlight video to promote the place. He gives you all the footage from the last parties, and he says that he wants something dynamic and engaging. But he doesn't provide you the creative brief. Excited to get started, you dive right into editing and create a fast-paced video featuring some crazy shots of young people dancing, and you use some electronic music. After some days of work, you probably show the final video to your client, and to your surprise, the client says that they had a different idea in mind. They were targeting a more mature audience, seeking a place to hang out or to have some drinks and to have some conversations. But you, without a creative brief, totally misunderstood the project's goals. And now you have to do the edit all over again. So the creative brief is like a map that guides you throughout the editing process and sort of locks in all the main ideas regarding the project, preventing even like some last minute changes from the clients. And I know, it seems like some extra work, but trust me, it can actually save you time, effort, and even money at the end of the day. Whether or not the client provides the creative brief, it's up to you as an editor to create one for yourself so you can define clear guidelines for your project and also make the whole editing process smoother. So download now the creative brief document from Projects and Resources tab, and let's do this together. This one I created based on other examples, but it's very similar to the one that I use professionally. Our creative brief has 8 sections, and we are starting with the overview. It's where you write like a big picture of your project, briefly talking about like your ideas and also what inspired you to create the video. Okay, next is video category or the genre of your video. And when it comes to video, it's important that you know that there are a lot of different categories to choose from. I don't know, from creating like a travel video using the clips from your last trip, or a motivational video with, based on a spoken word that you like. It doesn't really matter what you want to choose, as long as you have an idea of what you're going to create. And in this course, I'll be creating a visual narrative, which is basically a short film containing a story with no dialogue. Now, okay, hold on a second. If you're feeling extra creative and you want to make a video from scratch maybe, but you don't want to spend so much time writing all the script, why don't you try to work with a theme or feeling or emotion maybe? This is something really fun. There's a fun way to practice everything that you're going to be learning here in this class, as you can really get creative using like heaps of abstract shots just to represent your idea. For instance, say that your theme is like peacefulness. You can get a calm song and use like different videos to represent that word, such as, a calming ocean, or leaves moving, or a gentle wind or breeze, birds flying, and so forth, whatever. Remember that this could be like your very own interpretation of the theme. If you feel peaceful by looking at a bonfire or someone walking by the beach, just go for it. Don't be afraid to express yourself and let your uniqueness flow through your work. And next we have audience, and here you can include all the information that you know about your target audience, such as gender or age, race, income level, and so forth. Whatever is necessary for your project. It's really important to understand your audience because it helps you to determine the best editing style for your film and for the message that you're trying to communicate. In my case, I have young adults and adults that are somehow involved with creative work, such as visual artists or filmmakers, script writers, etc. All right, next we have platform, format, and length. And now that you know the audience and your goal, it's good to determine the editing style you're going to use for this video and the platform they're going to create the video for. Is that YouTube or Instagram or TikTok? Whatever, really, just keep in mind your audience and where they normally watch video from. And then we have message and goals. And message is basically the purpose of your video. Maybe you just want to sell a product, or maybe you want to provoke a thought or emotion, or even create like some excitement, a feeling, whatever you want, really just write it down. And finally, we have your tone. And your tone should always be aligned with your message, your creative brief, and also with the client's branding. Okay, here's a good way to look at it. Message, which is your words, your script, or your voiceover, plus your tone equals emotion. And you might ask me, okay, Adrian, but what does that even mean? Your message and the words that you're using or the voiceover you're using They're just information by themselves. So in order to create like a link and a connection, you need to use a tone. And tone is this link that is going to tie it all up together to create like an emotional connection with your audience and also to create like a purpose for your video. So you should always ask yourself, how do I want my audience to feel? And I want my audience to feel confident and somehow inspired to keep creating regardless their struggles. Because we all know like sometimes there are some creative blockages that comes on the way, and I want them to feel that, and I want them to feel a little bit tense at the beginning when we go into the character's mind, and then I want to add at the end a bit of humor, but I'd say this is more a secondary tone. Then I have a story, which is basically a chronological order about what's happening in your story, and it could be simply like a guy is sitting in a chair with the head down, and cameras zoom in and show images of things inside his mind, cameras zoom out and show the same guy sitting at the desk, and that's basically it. And finally, we have the visuals or the mood board, which is basically where you put all your images together or video references, and that's useful for you to guide you throughout the process later on, but also for your client to visualize your ideas. So you can use this document here, or you can use Pinterest and just send the link to everyone later on that's involved in the project, And that's basically it. Creative briefs are a great way to narrow down your possibilities when you start a new project, and it can help you to be more assertive with your creative decisions as well while you are editing. This document is highly used by almost every creative industry around the globe. However, it's important to remember that they don't always need to look the same, because different companies work with different types of creative briefs based on their own needs. So now go ahead and make your own creative brief. Feel free to use the example that I gave you, but also feel free to change whatever you think is necessary to fit your reality, projects, or clients. Make sure you check your guidebook while making your own creative brief, as it has a lot of complementary information that can be helpful for you to flow with your imagination and take your learning experience above and beyond. So do that now, and I'll see you in the next lesson.